नमस्कार। और्स की श्रृंखला में आपका स्वागत है और आज एक हम बहुत महत्वपूर्ण विषय पे चर्चा करने जा रहे हैं क्योंकि हमारे साथ है डॉक्टर MS पॉल और MS पॉल खुद भी एक माने हुए सर्जन हैं बंगाल में और इन्होंने ही उस जापानी डॉक्टर को, जिस जापानी डॉक्टर ने नेताजी बोस की मृत्यु का झूठा सर्टिफिकेट बनाया था कि उनकी वहाँ मृत्यु हो गई थी और जो उसने गवाहियाँ दी थी खोसला कमीशन के सामने, शाहनवाज कमीशन के सामने, जस्टिस मुखर्जी कमीशन के सामने, तो डॉक्टर पाल ने जापान के अंदर उसको जब आर्गुमेंट किए उससे, तो इस डॉक्टर से जवाब देते नहीं बने थे। तो डॉक्टर पाल, आई वेलकम यू in this, and I feel myself lucky to talk to a person who demolished this doctor, Japanese doctor, who had given the fake certificates of Netaji's death. And the doctor's name was
Taneyoshi Yoshimi.
Yoshimi, and the fake name on which the certificate was made was
Ichiro Okura.
Ichiri Okura. And the interesting part is no one ever bothered that who this Okura was later on, you see. Ever tried to research or find. And funny thing is that these people took his evidence on hearsay. Earlier ones, Shahnawaz and Khosla. But when you question him, cross-examined him during the Justice Mukherjee Commission, and his testimony fell to pieces actually. Silence means falling to pieces. I think Justice Mukherjee Commission must have taken a big note of this cross-examination because he came because he came to this conclusion that there was no plane crash. And in the course of discussion, I too have some information from the books of Ihsan Qadir and the diary of Colonel Mahbubur Rahman on this doctor thing. I'll raise that. But you tell me, what made you to decide and cross-examine this doctor?
Dr. Taneyoshi Yoshimi, from the records I saw, this Taneyoshi Yoshimi in 1945 and 46 has been examined by British intelligence, CICA and the British intelligences. There are the records where he has told he gave death certificate, he treated and they gave death certificate to Subhas Chandra Bose. One. Then I am seeing in the records of Shahnawaz Khan committee, again he has given evidence where he is telling he treated and gave death certificate. Okay. But no death certificate in the name of Subhas Chandra Bose is available. Only one death certificate they are showing in name of Ichiro Okura. Then again I am seeing from the records of the Justice Khosla Commission, 1970s, where this Taneyoshi Yoshimi again deposing and giving statement that he gave death certificate. And also I saw one documentary film made by the BBC on the centenary year of Netaji Subhas Chandra, where this Dr. Yoshimi gave his statement. This statement very vital, and this document film was banned in India. One of my seniors collected it from London, handed over to me. I make it in epitaph, I submit to JMCI, and where I have shown that this Yoshimi is telling that he is telling he never saw Bose before. He knows not Subhas Chandra Bose, and that's very vital. And then when I went to Japan, I went to his island of Miyazaki, much away from the Tokyo. I and Justice Mukherjee went there. Justice Mukherjee asked few questions, but medical part I was examining him. After many discussions about the modalities of managing burn, because burn management has a grammar accepted all over the world, and I am telling what you have done, this is not the proper burn management. How you could do this? He remained silent. And next final knock was, I showed him a paper signed by him in 1988 that I showed him. I told him, please read what you have written. This is the death certificate given by me in 1988. I asked him, when the man has died in 1945 August, how could you give a death certificate 1988? Then Justice Mukherjee asked him, how you could? Was the records with you? How you could give a death certificate in the name of Subhas Chandra Bose? Because your previous death certificates are in the name of Ichiro Okura. Then he remained silent. He only told that some Indian from India went to him and persuaded him to give this death certificate. Then I told, this is a false death certificate. Justice Mukherjee smiled. Then this Dr. Yoshimi requested Justice Mukherjee not to tell this to their medical council in Japan. Because if they come to know this, his register number will be cancelled.
Now, you see, this is where my suspicion arose, that on the one hand, the Japanese are not declaring the death. Okay.
They have never declared from the government side.
You know, it is
never.
It is kept as a secret, all that stuff. Then again, then how come then the people at the cremation know that it was Bose? And now I'll give you the very interesting thing which I have in my book also. Habibur Rahman, the statements which he gave to the British,
yes,
were that Bose had his burns and he tried to stop them and all, and then they were admitted in the ward and Bose died in his lap, and he said that, tell my countrymen that I died fighting for the country, and this and that. Now both Ehsan Kadir and Colonel, in their statements, they say that when Habibur Rahman was put in the Salimgarh fort, got here, the story which he told them was that Bose was slightly injured, but we were kept in different wards. I insisted with the Japanese that I should be allowed the same ward. I was not allowed, and then when I was told that Bose has died, I ran towards his ward, but the Japanese overpowered me, the guards,
yes,
and they gave me a needle was put into that, and I went unconscious, and I gained my consciousness after 4 days only. Then how come he is present there at the cremation? How come he is taking the ashes? All this stuff. And you see, even if you look at the Taiwan report which you gave me,
yes, yes,
in that report also one very crucial thing is mentioned, that one of the witnesses at the cremation ground, he says that while he was being cremated, there were 2 Indians standing there. Now one Indian could be Habibur Rahman, but then who's the other Indian standing
yes,
there? Which again proves that the person who's cremated is that Ichiro Okura. And both Habibur and Bose are standing there and doing that. So with this, when we incorporate with so many other things, and I'm very happy that a person like you was there. And then a very interesting thing comes from Dr. Kasliwal, who was Netaji's.
Yes.
He says that when he met Habibur Rahman, he examined his burns.
Burns on this side,
and burns are
not this side.
Burns are on the back side.
Back side, not on the.
And he said, if you are trying to
this way
do it.
Burns should be on inner side.
When I asked Habibur Rahman, these look to me as
chemical burn, self-inflicted or chemical burn by acid.
And he said that at
that smiled.
Habibur Rahman gave a laugh. And I told Habibur Rahman, look, whatever you want to tell the British, you can tell them. But we have got the message now. And none of these INA officers ever believed it. And I give you one very solid proof of that. On 22nd May 1946, please mind the date, 22nd May 1946, an INA officers get together is there in Delhi by the INA Relief Committee. Sardar Patel chairs this meeting, and the welcome address is given by General Shahnawaz, and their national anthem is sung of INA. And after that, they all keep 1 minute silence for Netaji. But the silence is not for Netaji's soul. The silence as minuted in that document is, wherever he is, he should be healthy. That is for what the silence is kept. So this whole doctor theory fell to ground. And the worst part is, I don't know what kind of a Justice Khosla was. On the one side, you agree to what the hearsay evidences are there, that he died in the plane crash. There you agree. But all other evidences which are coming, whether it's of Colonel Rao, whether it is of someone else, 3-4 evidences we have like that, who say that he didn't go by that plane, the plane landed back, he went by submarine to Russia and all. Those evidences you reject as hearsay. So I can't understand this kind of a law. And to Shahnawaz's report, I have to make a comment, Dr. Pal, and I'd like to know your views on that. My comment is that Shahnawaz remained loyal to all the three. At that moment, Netaji didn't want to come out or show his presence. So Shahnawaz sticks to that story of plane crash death, remains loyal to Netaji. Nehru wants Netaji to be declared dead. So Shahnawaz declares him dead in plane crash. He remains loyal to Nehru. But the most crucial part is the 4-5 page annexure in Shahnawaz's report
On treasure. Very important.
On which
Yes.
he describes the movement of the INA treasure.
Yes.
And when you go through minutely as a researcher of that entire description, you realize that this whole plane crash thing is a hoax. And in the last, Shahnawaz says that this is not in my purview, this treasure is being looted.
There should be a separate
The
inquiry.
government of India should hold
Yes.
a separate inquiry,
Inquiry.
which Nehru
Never.
ordered.
No subsequent government looked to it.
Looked into it.
Only they took up this.
And I tell you, I have heard from people known to Shahnawaz that Shahnawaz himself never believed in that plane crash theory. It was used, and it is like that. You see Captain Lakshmi Sehgal changing her statements. First,
In his initial part, Lokhi Saigal was against plane crash theory.
yeah.
But subsequently, he was purchased.
That is same like the some in the Bose family now.
Yes, many.
Because now they want to prove. They have forgotten that what their generation, elderly
Old-
generation in the Bose family said about the plane crash theory and about Bose being
As if
alive
the
after 45.
third generation bosses no more.
They have forgotten that, and now they are talking of same ashes and all those things related to that. So thank you very much, and I hope our younger generation learns a lot that those who claim that Bose died in a plane crash, the very doctor who issued a fake certificate and the very doctor who did these fake things showing about this plane crash theory, how Dr. Pal exposed that doctor and his entire testimony as a false. So please stop believing in this nonsense which comes on that there was a plane crash and Netaji died in that. There was no plane crash and Netaji never died in that. Yes, he disappeared. What happened after that is a mystery, is another topic to be discussed upon.
Justice Mukherjee asked me, Dr. Pal, why these doctors are telling different things at different times? I answered. Subsequently, I'd give the answer.
I tell you, Dada, one thing I found about Japanese, which also our people...
They remain loyal to Subhas Bose.
Not only loyal to Subhash Bose, their character. And I'll give one instance. There was a pilot during the Second World War who defected to the Americans. And he was given as a traitor in the Japanese newspapers and all for so many years. And now only about 10 years back, I saw a report that the Japanese honored that pilot. And now they revealed that this pilot was not a traitor. This pilot had been sent by the Japanese only to cross over and give false information to the Americans. And someday, I tell you, I hope it happens in our lifetimes, this whole mystery of Netaji will be out. How he left Vietnam by submarine and what happened to him after that. This also, they may try to crush the truth. The truth never dies, and the truth will come out.
We'll do it tomorrow.